Hello everyone. Today we'll learn about many to one relationship. Okay. So in the Hibernate we have already covered part one, that is one-to-one relationship. Let us see first what is this one-to-one relationship. Okay, Hibernate with JPA part one-to-one relationship. Okay. One-to-one relationship represents that one entity is connected to another entity. Example, student has a address. Means in the sense one student is having one address. Okay, Madhu is from Indore. Ashok is from Gandhinagar. Okay. So here the name in the sense here Madhu is the name. Okay, Madhu is the student and his detail belongs to the student table. Okay, Madhu belongs to student table. Okay, name of the address and its detail belongs to address table. Means here you can see Indore. Indore is the name of the address. Okay, belongs to address table. Okay, and here you can see whenever one-to-one example is performed. Okay, it will be represented in this format. Here you can see Manohar is a student and he is referred with ID of 101 address. Okay, 101 address, and here you can see Ashok address is of Gandhinagar, Gujarat, and is having ID number 102. So this is a one-to-one relationship is formed. Okay, clear, right? We have already done with this one-to-one example. But what if in case of one-to-many? How it is performed? One-to-many. Let us see how it will be one-to-many example. Okay. So we are doing today one-to-many example. That is part 2 of Hibernate with GP. So one-to-many relationship. One-to-many relationship represents one entity. One entity data is connected to many entity data. One entity data is connected to many entity data. In the sense, one candidate will be enrolled for list of courses. Okay, one candidate is enrolled to the list of courses. Suppose Mohan is enrolled for Java as well as SQL. Mohan is enrolled for Java as well as SQL. Okay, and Ravi is enrolled for Python as well as JavaScript. Okay, here you can understand one-to-many is represented in such a way that one entity data is connected to many entity data. Here Mohan is one entity which belongs to a particular table, that is candidate, and Java and SQL is belongs to the courses table. Okay, now we'll see how tables will be there, how tables will be connected. Now you can see here candidate is having Mohan and Ravi. Okay, here we cannot refer that IDs. Okay, Mohan will be enrolled for Java and SQL. Mohan is enrolled for Java and SQL. So what is the Mohan ID? One is the Mohan ID. One is the ID, okay, of Mohan, and Java's ID is 101 and SQL ID is 102. Okay, so we cannot connect in this table, in the candidate table. So in that case, it is creating one more table. Hibernate framework is creating one more table, that is the combination of candidate as well as course. Here you can see the name of the table is candidate and course. Here ID number 1 of Mohan is connected to ID number of Java. ID number of Mohan is again connected to ID number of SQL 102. See, 1 is connected to both 101 and 102. And here Ravi is enrolled for Python and JavaScript. So what is the idea of Ravi? 2. And the idea of Python is 103. JavaScript ID is 104. Here ID number 2 is connected to 103 as well as 104. So here you can see how they are connected. Means in case of one-to-many, how many tables are created? 3 tables. candidate course table. Why? What is the reason for it? Let us see. See, in case of one to one, the reference IDs of address table is column is created inside the student only. Okay, why? Because see, uh, inside the relational database, okay, all IDs can be given for the one primary key. But in case of one to many, Mohan is enrolled for Java and SQL. So 101 and 102 cannot be given here. Okay. So here 101, 102 not possible. Okay. 101 and 102 not possible. Okay. So that is the reason it is creating one more table. Okay, it is not possible. So instead of that, it is creating one more table, that is candidate course, candidate and underscore ID, course underscore ID, 101, 102, 1, 101, 1, 102, 2, 103, 2, 104. So this is one too many example. Now how to represent that in the form of classes? Let us see. Here we have two classes. One is candidate class. Here you can see inside the candidate class there are list of courses. Okay, there is a list of courses, and here you can see the course doesn't have any details of the candidate. Okay, and you can see here you can understand candidate is having list of courses. So candidate is the dependent table and course is the independent table. So candidate is depending upon the courses. Okay, so this is the dependent class. The dependent class. Here it is independent class. Okay, it is the independent class. Independent class. Why I am saying it is a dependent class? Because candidate requires courses objects, but at the same time courses is not required with any of the candidate. Okay, that is the reason this class is an independent class. Now let us perform the practical thing, how to perform one-to-many. So everything is already set up, src main, resources, meta, nf, and persistence file, everything is ready. Now let us create a class. So I will keep the package name as OneToMany example. OneToMany example. What is the class name? Candidate. Candidate is the class name. And one more class is course. So inside the course, so as we know, okay, so we require two tables. We require candidate table, we require course table, and we require candidate course table. In order to get the candidate table or course table, so Hibernate framework is providing some annotations. What are those annotations? @entity is used to create the table. Entity annotation is utilized in order to create a table for this course. So, and according to the Hibernate framework, Okay, in every table there is primary key is mandatory. So that is the reason this @ID is required. Primary key is mandatory. Primary key generator, which is mandatory. Creates a table. Private string course. Private int duration and generate getters and setters. Getters and setters are generated. Okay, next is candidate. So we require candidate table to generate the table for this class. We use @entity annotation. And to generate primary key for this table, @ID is mandatory. Private int ID, private string name, and to represent OneToMany, we have to give OneToMany annotation. Private list courses, generate getters and setters. Getters and setters are generated. Okay. So getters and setters are generated. Everything is done. So we are seeing this class in this way. So I have generated a candidate class which is having list of courses, and course itself is a class. Okay, this OneToMany. Okay, this OneToMany annotation refers to OneToMany relationship. Okay, so and this list is a collection object. Already you all guys know about this. Okay, it's a collection object, right? So everything is ready. What is our next step? To perform the CRUD operations. So for that we are creating a class called DAO, candidate DAO. Candidate DAO. So we require entity manager factoring interface EMF equals to persistence dot create entity manager factory. So here we are providing food entity Shilpa Dore entity entity manager equals to EMF dot create entity manager entity transaction equals to entity manager dot get transaction. Right. Next we have to create save method, public string save candidate. So here we have to give candidate as the argument. Entity transaction. So entity transaction dot begin entity manager dot persist entity transaction dot commit return and it is saved. Done. We're done with this. Next we have to write one more method, that is public string save course. Okay. So we have to perform the same operations. So I'm just copying and pasting here. Right. Okay, done. So here instead of candidate we are writing it as course. So our DAO class is completed. So after this, what we have to do means we have to create a controller class. It's very simple only. We already did many of the times. Okay, it is the DAO class. Actually it is a DAO IMPL, but by mistake I named it as DAO. So I'll create one more class, that is candidate controller, which requires main method. So first what we have to do, first always create the, okay, look at here. Our first step is to create a candidate, and our second step to create the course objects. So I have created one course object here, two course objects. Means you can create n number of course objects. There is no restriction to create objects here. Okay, then after creating the two course objects, we are collecting those two course objects using array list, and then we have to set that list of courses to the candidate object. Okay, so let us see how to do this. So first candidate equals to new of candidate dot set id number 1, candidate dot set a name, candidate name. What is the candidate name? We took that example also, that is Mohan Ravi. So Mohan is the candidate. Okay, so he is enrolled for two courses. Course C1 equals to new of course C1 dot set id number 101, C1 dot set course Java, C1 dot set duration 45. So next, so we require another course object also, so that candidate can be enrolled for with a list of courses. New of course constructor C2 dot set 102, C2 dot set, so he is enrolled for SQL also. C2 dot set duration 30 days. Okay, so as per these classes, you say there is, so candidate requires list of courses. Means he requires a list of courses. Means all course objects will be created, and those course objects will be collected in the form of collection object. So I mean to say is, here you can see we have created one candidate object and then created two course objects. Means we have to collect these two course objects by using ArrayList object. So here my next step to create ArrayList object, ArrayList of course, ArrayList of courses equals to new of ArrayList courses dot add c1 courses dot add c2. Okay, we have collected all the course objects using collection object. Our next step is to set these courses, list of courses to the candidate, to this candidate object. Why? What is the reason for this? So the reason is very simple. Now here you can see this candidate class is a dependent class which is depending upon the course. Okay, so here means in for the candidate we have to set the courses, list of courses. So our step is to set the courses, set the list of courses to candidate dot set courses. What is our next step? Look at here once again. So here I told you candidate is the dependent class and course is the independent class. Means candidate is depending upon the course. So here always independent objects can be saved without any restriction or interruption. So always remember, first we have to persist the course object. Here you can see, so we have to create a DAO class object, and first step is to save the courses. Second, we have to save the candidates. Okay, first let us save the courses. First save the courses. To save the courses, what we have to first create the candidate DAO object, new of candidate DAO, and save DAO.save course C1, DAO.save course C2. Next, second, save the candidate, DAO.save candidate, save the candidate. Okay, now let us run this so we do not get any interruption now. Candidate table is created in the console. You can see course also is created. All the data is inserted inside the table. Let us check the database application. Like as I said, 3 tables are created. See here, you can see three tables are created. That is candidate course and course. So first we'll check the candidate. Like here you can see Mohan is created, and one more is 101, 102. Java and SQL course, and then I will click on candidate course. Now here you can see candidate 1 is connected to 101, candidate 1 connected to 102 also. So this is how we define. Let us persist one more data. Here 103. So here I will change the details one by one to Ravi. Python, JavaScript, JavaScript. So we have set all the data as usual. Just save and run the file. Every data is saved and course also almost right. You can see Python and JavaScript and the candidate as well. Let us see. Right, Mohan and Ravi is okay. Mohan and Ravi is enrolled for Java, SQL, Python, JavaScript. How we can understand? Here, Mohan ID is 1 and Ravi ID is 2. Mohan is enrolled for 101 and 102. Ravi is okay. So let us stop this process. Done with this. Okay.